Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Shveshwaraya Mahadevaya Triambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagnikalaya Kalagni Rudraya Neelakantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sada Shivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Om Triambakam यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरि समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. Welcome to this Anuvaka 111. The last one of this Rudram we are going to see in this session. The last Anuvaka of Namakam is a prayer and prostrations to Rudra, who appears as thousands of Rudras, some of them mentioned as Kirikas, Vikshilikas, Vichinvatkas, Anirhatas and Amirvatkas from 9:15 to 19, the numbers we saw in the last session. Democracy in India has a central government and state governments headed by the Prime Minister, Chief Minister, and many different ministers and different departments also. And so every department has got their own officers and officials down the line. It is like not just one person and that's it. Every small bit of care is taken for covering all the departments and administration. In the same way, Bhagavan Ishvara also governs this universe through various laws, which we can loosely translate as the laws of nature, each of which is headed by a deity. Every law of nature, like the law of gravitation, is a Shakti. There's a deity behind it. A law of repulsion, a law of attraction, everything there is a deity behind. The interconnectivity of the laws and the deities, just like the interconnection between different laws and departments, there's an interconnection. The public works department takes care of roads. The water and electricity is located in various places. The deities, Rudras, are located throughout the universe. However, we should not forget that God, Rudra, as the supreme self, truth and the Lord of the universe, is one alone without a second. It is He alone that appears as all deities, empowers them. It is like you can think of it like the beach sand. The sand is the same, but you can in one place you can make a sculpture of Lord Vishnu, Bhagavan Vishnu, reclining on Adishesha. In another place you can make a sculpture of Shiva in meditation. In another place you can make a Hanuman. In another place you can make a Jesus Christ. In another place you can make a Mecca. Whatever you can do, you can work out different images with that sculpture. But ultimately what is there in that, the core of that is the sand only. In the same way, there are different departments and different energies of these gods, and the core energy is that one Rudra. Just as the government is happy with law-abiding citizens who pay their taxes in time, gods and deities are pleased by those who live a life of dharma. Those citizens who give voluntary and special help to the government are also duly recognized and rewarded. Similarly, those who are seekers and devotees, who are spiritual and religious practitioners, and who serve God with love and surrender to His will, are rewarded abundantly. A poor but meritorious student, unable to afford his tuition fees, finds a rich benefactor Same, likewise, at the subtler plane, the deities encourage and reward the deserving one in unobtrusive and subtle ways. Have we not experienced someone coming out in the blue to help us in a task to complete a project we found impossible to complete on our own? God has promised to take care of the needs of his devotees and assured them that they shall never perish and will always be protected. There are countless ways in which God blesses us, and some Rudras are charged with disciplining and some in bolstering the seeker's efforts. The next 10 mantras, we are going to read it as a series, the 10 mantras. They are a prayer to Rudra of various forms, located in various places, taking care of various functions to not harm but protect us. The crux of the mantra is Rudra. We pray to you. By our prayers, we keep all your weapons far away and we want you here. And they're praying to Rudra. Sahasrani sahasrasho ye Rudra adhibhumyam. Sahasrani sahasrasho ye Rudra adhibhumyam. Teshagam sahasrayojane vadhanvani tanmasi. Teshagam sahasrayojane vadhanvani tanmasi. Asmin mahatyarnaventarikshe bhava adhi. अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवेहेन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाश्रितिकण्ठाः शर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाश्रितिकण्ठाः शर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाश्रितिकण्ठादिवगं रुद्रा उपश्रुताः नीलग्रीवाश्रितिकण्ठादिवगं रुद्रा उपश्रुताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहितः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहितः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासक्कपर्दिनः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासक्कपर्दिनः ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये पथा अत्प्रतिरक्षय ऐलवृधायभ्युधः ये पथां पथिरक्षय ऐलवृधायभ्युधः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति सृकावन्तो निषङ्गिणः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति सृकावन्तो निषङ्गिणः य एतावन्तश्च भूयागंसश्च दिशो रुद्रा वितस्थिरे य एतावन्तश्च भूयागंश्च दिशो रुद्रा वितस्थिरे तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि. Thousands of Rudras, thousands of types reside on earth. Through our worship, we unstring your bows and keep them 1,000 yojanas away from us. So what does this show? This shows that bhaktas are actually really children. You know, children, even if they know that their father is loving and all that, they do not want all the signs of some kind of like suppose a father is capable of beating and there is a stick. So the child will go and hide the stick. So that is what these devotees are doing. They're saying with our worship, we are going to hide away all your weapons. Because the brain, it is not about the people, it is not about the mantra. The brain will, when it sees an object, it immediately understands danger or safety. This is the immediate decision the brain takes. If it is danger, it raises the emotion of fear. And so, why are the bhaktas doing it? They are not doing it because they think that Shiva will hit them or something. No. They are doing it because they don't want that fear to come in the way of their devotion to Bhagavan. Everybody cannot be a Prahlada. When Narasimha had torn apart Hiranyakashipu and blood was streaming in his hands and his teeth and everywhere, and he is just huffing and puffing with anger, none of the gods could go near that Narasimha. Even Vishnu's wife also was afraid to go nearby. They told, at least you go. She was also afraid. but it was Bhakta Prahlada who went like a loving child and sat so boldly in the on the lap of Narasimha. And Narasimha, with all his blood-filled hands and everything, he's stroking the cheeks of Bhakta Prahlada. He's hugging the child, and the child is also looking at him with love. Everybody cannot be like that. So it requires a great courage and a very deep knowledge, a very deep Shraddha, and the deep knowledge of the reality that yes, this is that Bhagavan. He is not going to touch me. He is not going to harm me. So we are ordinary devotees. So the devotees say, we worship and we unstring all your bows and keep them 1,000 yojanas away, because he has to run. Even if it is kept 1,000 yojanas, they know that Rudra can pick it. They don't know that Rudra can pick it up 1,000 yojanas away. Those Rudras who are located in the great ocean and in the sky, and then they worship in the ocean and in the sky, who are blue and white-necked like the birds, moving about in realms below the earth as lords, the Neanderthal, the beneath the earth beings, the Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Patala, Lokas, the earth, who are colored like tender grass, having blue necks and of deep red color, located on trees, who are the masters of ghosts and goblins, with no hair on the leg or head or with matted locks, who reside in food in the vessels that store food. So this is where we can see our Rudra in the kitchen, we can see our Rudra in the dining room, we can see our Rudra in the drawing room, we can see the Rudra in the bedroom. So where are they? In the food, in the vessels that store food, in water, water carrying vessels, who are protectors of all paths. And earlier itself that was mentioned. He is only the bed and the person sleeping on the bed also, who protect by providing nourishing food, who fight sinners, who protect us, who move about in pilgrim places with sharp weapons and swords in hand. May all these Rudras mentioned up till now. There is a very nice, very interesting comedy in a Tamil movie. I don't remember the movie, I don't remember the comedian also, a very famous comedian. அது வந்து முருகா இல்ல முருகா, he is a director, he is taking a film. அது வந்து முருகா, அந்த அந்த ஹீரோ வரார் முருகா, அந்த முருகா ஹீரோ வரார் முருகா, அந்த முருகா ஹீரோ வந்து நடிக்கிறார் முருகா, அந்த வில்லன் முருகா வராரு, அந்த வில்லன் முருகா வந்து முருகா நடிக்கிறார் முருகா, he will go on tell. So Rudram is nothing like something like that only. Everywhere and everything, in every word that we speak, we have already seen that he is there in all the words and the meaning behind the words, everything. So Rudra is everywhere. Rudra is mentioned up till now and more numerous in count. You are Rudra, I am Rudra. The one who is listening is Rudra, the one who is speaking is Rudra. Pervading all the directions, leaving their bows at a distance of 1,000 yojanas. Tesham sahasra yojaneva dhanvani tanmasi. This is a common refrain for these 10 mantras to be understood from the 2nd to the 9th mantra of this Anuvakas. In the 1st and the 10th Anuvaka, we prayed to Rudra and requested him to disarm and put away his weapons far away. Here is the same prayer to the thousands of Rudras. Please unstring your bows and keep them 1,000 yojana away. 1 yojana is equal to 8 miles. So that is 12.8 or 12.8 kilometers. And 1,000 yojanas means we can do the calculation. It is interesting to note that right from the first Anuvaka of the Namakam, the prayer was never been for God, Rudra, deities to stay away from us, but only to request to appear peaceful and auspicious. And their weapons may protect and not harm us. The stones with the name of God Rama floated on the ocean water to build the bridge of Lanka. When Sri Rama put a stone on the water, it sank. Then Hanuman explained, how can anyone God-forsaken fare well? They will surely drown in the ocean of samsara, be it a stone or a person. Luckily for us, God never forsakes us. God is ever present, and his presence is always experienced. So the Hanuman's interpretation of that is Rama is God. So Hanuman says every stone had the name of Rama and those stones were floating. And Rama saw that and he took a stone and he put the stone into the water. And so Hanuman sees that and says that stone is forsaken by God. So what is forsaken by God will not float, it will sink. Human laws may be fallible, but God's laws are infallible. One who obeys his laws never fear. This refrain really means maybe live a life of dharma, which will not warrant a use of God's, deities, weapons to harm us, and maybe not unnecessarily be troubled. So Meaning it is not that Rudra is going to trouble us and we want to take away weapons of Rudra and disempower him. No, we are not disempowering God. The prayer is, may I do the right things that your weapons are not going to be around at all. There is no need for you to lift your weapons against me. So may I live such a life of dharma is what is the understanding. A question may arise: are these deities, Rudras, visible only in or invisible sentient forces? They are generally invisible, but can also take forms both gross and subtle. Hence, they are described as blue-necked, white-necked, with various types of stuffs. Vichitra shikha, without tufts or bald, Vigata shikha, golden yellow, Saspinjara, special red, Vishesha lohita, and fair, Vigata lohita. It should be noted that the Rudra have the same description as God or Rudra. The Rudras have the same description as Ishvara, God or Rudra. This again shows that it is God alone that appears as thousands of Rudras. It is also indicates the identification of those who serve God with God. The devotees are also called the Rudras. And just as the genetic code of a person is generic, shows what family and race he belongs to, and also individual unique to that person, each Rudra Devata belongs to the genre of Rudra but has a particular persona and function. These Rudras deities are located and protect us on land Adhi Bhumyam, interspace Bhuvaloka, Adhi Antariksha, in realms lower than the earth, Adha Kshamachara, and in the realms higher than the earth, heavens, Divam Upashritaha. This shows that Rudra's deities are spread all over the universe. On earth, they are on trees, Vriksheshu, representing plant life, protecting them and the creatures that live in and of them. They also live within our bodies, protecting our gross and subtle body. Bhutanam Adhipati. Viruses and bacteria can both harm and protect us. The master of ghosts and goblins, which trouble us, could also be called Bhutanam Adhipati, the lord of the ghosts and goblins. Rudras reside even in food, Anneshu, in the vessels in which we store food, Patreshu, food packaging, Patreshu, even in water and vessels which carry water, Patreshu Pibataha. So we know that we have to handle everything with love and care because everything is Rudra. That is why when the cleaning and tidying process begins, it's a very beautiful experience for doing that. You take every object and ask that object, does it spark joy in me? If you say yes, you keep that object. If you say no, thank you to that object. It may be a new dress that you may not have used at all, but it is there with you for 15 years. Or it may be some other object which has to be thrown. Before throwing every object into the dustbin, when you say thank you to that, when you are filled with gratitude for what that object has done to you, we will solve half our problem of solid waste management in our country. Wherever we may throw it, at least that we throw it anywhere. We make the places so dirty, but at least before throwing, we just take a look at the object and have the feeling of gratitude. Gratitude is an emotion that neutralizes our karma. Whatever action we do, when we do it with gratitude, that action does not have the same impact in terms of results like an action done with a lot of anger or stress or anxiety or worry or a sense of competition or jealousy or whatever. When the repercussions of those actions with those kind of emotions are very, very strong and very negative. Whereas when you offer the action with gratitude, the cycle of energy goes with the love and the feeling of gratitude. And when it comes back to us, it lands gently on our body, and we have the capacity to bear that experience when it comes back because of the emotion of gratitude. So how does it land in the case of tidying? When you have gratitude for an object and you throw, that object does not come back in our life. Otherwise, this was written in Marie Kondo. Actually, she's a Japanese, very beautiful book, The Magical Art of Tidying. It has got a lot of, though the references are not given from Vedanta, the Upanishads or the Yoga Shastras, or the Bhagavad Gita, the thought flow of that book contains a lot of details from the Bhagavad Gita and the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. She talks about when uh, when you when you throw away an object, if you don't have gratitude for the object, that object will think that, oh my god, I have not served this person well. So the object you just simply throw away may be a pair of shoes, but which have been lying idle in your house and you are not able to wear the pair of shoes. At the same time, you are not able to throw it away also. It has just been stagnating and it is occupying very precious space in the house and creating dust and creating a stress in the mind. When you see it, when you are not using it, there is a lot of stress that is there. So that is the thing. And but when you offer, so when if you don't offer it with gratitude, you just throw it away. You just want to be done with it and remove it out of sight, out of mind. That object which has, like now here Bhagavan is saying, the Vedas are saying, Rudra is everywhere. So that object will think, oh my God, I came here to serve this person. This person, I'm not serving that person now because I'm not serving that person enough, serving that person well. So the object that was stagnating will come into the house in some other form. It will come into the house in form of a magazine or in the form of a newspaper or in the form of a dress or in the form of some other object or toy or a bike. How many places on the road everywhere you see dusty old cars that are parked on the parking lot in public spaces, old cycles, old mopeds and scooters. People, they just don't know how to dispose of the things. When you don't have gratitude for what that object has done, it will not move away from the place and it will attract all the ghosts and goblins around that space. The space is filled with energies. The space is filled with potential powers which are divine also, which are devilish also. So the devilish powers will just rush. A fool's rush in where angels fear to tread. There's a proverb. So the devilish powers will rush in to these places where we create junkyards everywhere. And these powers will be ruling our life, our collective life and our individual life. So whether it is your house, whether it is under the staircase, or whether it is in the terrace, or whether it is in all the small cubicles that are there in the terrace and other places because of the construction of the tank, or in the underground area, or beneath the scaffolding of buildings, inside the scaffoldings, wherever there are spaces, every space has to be, you have to pay attention to those spaces, clear of things that do not help you, do not serve you, dispose them with gratitude, and create new stuff and place them consciously. Even after you clear, if you don't consciously place objects in your house or in your office or in your desk also, in a simple desk, or in your kitchen table, in your kitchen counter, or in the bedroom or study room or whatever, if you do not consciously place an object in a cleared space, soon clutter will come and occupy that, because nature abhors a vacuum. And if you see, even the shelves also you clear, and for a few days you will breathe a sigh of relief, heave a sigh of relief. In just 1 month or 2 months, clutter starts accumulating there. So what is the counter to that is consciously apply your thought and place objects in every place, and every day make a conscious attention, pay conscious attention to the objects inside your house, to objects in the office, to equipment in the office, to all your machinery, to all your gadgets. Look at them with love, talk to them with love. It is not only plants and animals that grow with love, even objects also respond to love. It can be your car, it can be your bike, it can be your musical instruments, it can be your cricket gear, cricket bat, ball and gear and playing set. Just don't throw things around the place. Don't just bang the doors or kick the doors or hit the windows. Everything is a living form of Rudra. That is the essence of this mantra. Please keep away all the harmful food and drinks from us, even though that is what we love. So we love toxic things, we love addictive things. So we are praying to Rudra. So a prayer to Rudra can cure us of addictions. Rudra protect us from the following. Rudras protect us from following the wrong path and are a bridge to the path of righteousness. Hence, our friends on all paths to God, Marga Bandhu, are Rudras. You know, there's a beautiful shloka by Adi Shankaracharya or Appaya Dikshitar. Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva Phalavanam Kiritam Halanetrachishadagdha Panche Sukitam Shulahadaradhikutam Shuddhamardhenduchudam Bhaje Margabandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva Ange Virajat Bhujangam Abragangatarangabhiramottamangam Omkaravati Kurangam Siddha Samsevitangrim Bhaje Margabandhum Shambho Mahadeva Deva Appaya Yajvendra Geetam Stotra Rajam Padedhyastu Bhaktya Prayane Tasyartha Siddhim Pradhatte Margabhadye Bhayancha Shutosho Mahesha Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Devesha Shambho Shambho Mahadeva Deva. Very beautiful. Appaya Dikshit is the guru, the Vamsha of Swami Shivananda, and we recollect that song to talk about the name of Margabandhu. Bhagavan is Margabandhu. Like when we leave the body and go to the other world, when we do Devata Upasana, this is not only in our Shastras, Puranas, Itihasas, all this is said. Even in modern day scientific literature, Brian Weiss and Dr. Michael Newton, who are all psychiatrists, they have written books like Many Lives, Many Masters, In Time Through Healing. Many books are written, and Dr. Michael Newton is Journey to the Soul, Destiny to the Soul. Those books, they talk about when we leave the body, there are beings, there are divine beings that come along with us. It is a path. We don't know where to go in that path. Of course, the going is also happening very simultaneously. It is like the stick figure is traveling on an airwave vibration. The airwave vibration is not wavy on which the stick figure is traveling. It is like lines. You go like a rail track. You go on a rail track on a very fast speed, and you can see, this is described by Michael Newton in his book. You can see many colonies of people, all the jivas that he's talking about, many colonies of people that are living on either sides, like glowworms. That is the experience that we get. So even when we leave the body, there are many, our Shastras say there are many devatas that Bhagavan Shri Krishna has spoken. Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaha Dhume Ratristatha Krishnaha Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyotihi Brahmanir, I do not know. I think they come back. So that is the mantra. That is the shloka in Bhagavad Gita. So these gods are there to guide. One thing is, we will know our path clearly. The more we study the Shastras, the more we have devotion to Bhagavan, we will not have any doubt about the certainty of our path and where we have to go after the point of death. That is the reason why we study all this literature. That is the reason why we become familiar with all the gods. Like, for example, if from childhood I am looking at a particular film actor or actress, and I become familiar with all the films that they have sung, all the films that they have acted, and what all activities that they have done on a daily basis. I'm following what they do. and I am appreciating, I'm enjoying that presence. On one day, when I'm alone somewhere and that film actor happens to be next to me, what a blessing that would be. Why, if I had not done all this work before, if I had not known about them, yes, I just met that actor. But if I had done a lot of work, prior pre-preparation work like this since my childhood, out of my own love, it is not because I want to do it, I'm doing out of love. If I have done, and at that moment that actor comes next to me, what a wonderful experience it would be. So that is the same thing. When I am thinking about Bhagavan, thinking about Ishvara, thinking about God in one form or the other, or in many forms also, at the point of death, when I am leaving the body and I am going, I will be able to see that Bhagavan to whom I've been praying, that Bhagavan is going to be my friend on the path. He's going to come with me. He's going to help me. He's going to drop me wherever I have to go, to whichever point I have to reach. And so the journey becomes so beautiful, like how you travel with a friend, somebody who is beloved to you, you travel, you will never know how the journey, the time moves. So that is, there is no question of sorrow at that point of time. So to avoid that sorrow of death, we mrityunjayam mrityubhiyashritanam aham pratyayam mrityupaiti purvam. Why do we pray to Mrityunjaya? Because we have mrityubhiya, we have fear of death. Mrityubhiya is there. And if I pray to Mrityunjaya, who has conquered this fear of death, Mrityubhaya, then what will happen is that Mrityunjaya makes me realize that he and me are one only. It is not that he will take you and swallow and then you will disappear. Aham pratyayam mrityum upaiti purvam means the aham pratyaya dies, means you realize that there is no separate I. That realization happens the more and more you worship Bhagavan. And the worship of Bhagavan gives us vairagya. It also denudes our antaraya abhava samadhi bhavanatha antaraya abhavascha ishvara pranidhanat vairagya siddhi is vairagya means detachment from everything. Like I am not clinging on to something, I'm not clinging on to the world, I'm not clinging on to objects of pleasures, I'm not clinging on to objects, people and situations that I really want. I'm not going away from objects, people and situations. So these are all the, I won't say benefits, these are all the results that happen when we worship Bhagavan in any form, and here in the form of Rudra. Why do I need God or his army's protection? I'm young, strong, rich and influential, a modern man will think. I'm quite capable of protecting myself. My house is a very good security system and also everything is insured. I also have an underground bunker in case of a nuclear blast. Are we really able to take care of ourselves? Is it not nature's laws and their infallible working that takes care even of our breathing, perceiving, digesting and thinking? Realizing the glory of God and his army, we can only prostrate again and again. Namo Rudrebhyo ye prathivyam ye antarikshe ye divi ye shamannam vato vashman nishavas tebhyo dasha prachir dasha dakshina dasha pratichir dashodhichir dashodhvastebhyo namaste no mridayantu teyam dvishmo yascha no dveshtitam vojambhe dadhami. Salute. So again, if I want to chant, Namo Rudrebhyo ye prathivyam ye antarikshe ye divi ye shamannam vato vashman nishavastebhyo dasha prachir dasha dakshina dasha pratichir dashodhichir dashodhvastebhyo namaste namaste no mridayantu teyam dvishmo yascha no dveshtitam vojambhe dadhami. Salutations to Rudras who exist on earth, for whom food is their weapon. The Rudras, food is their weapon. They get energy from food. Who exist in interspace, for whom air is their weapons. And who exist in heavens, for whom the rains are their weapons. So Weapons means it is referring to all the difficult circumstances that we get. In food, sometimes we get food poisoning, and in air, we are blasted sometimes with these tempestuous storms are happening to us in our life. And then what else? In every part of nature, whenever that element of nature is giving us trouble, it becomes a weapon. And who is the ruler of that is Rudra. Salutations unto those Rudras with the 10 fingers facing east, south, west, north, and upwards. May they make us happy. We offer unto your open mouth those whom we dislike and those who dislike us. May they be eaten or be destroyed by you. This is not a cruel prayer. This is just that we are praying that we may not be surrounded by troubles. And Rudra is not somebody who's physically eating and chewing and all the blood and all that. Not that way. Everything is just prana. The person who's troubling us is prana. The person who doesn't like us is prana only. If I don't like somebody, the person who is scolding us is prana. So when we pray to Rudra to eat, Rudra is prana and he absorbs that energy, and without so quietly. That is how for many great people, even if there is so much of opposition in the country, they just go quietly and they pray, and they come out and all the problems get easily solved because it is a top down approach. You go to the highest authority, you plead there very quietly without anybody knowing, and the highest authority takes care of whatever needs to be eaten up, whatever needs to be removed from that place, and the path is cleared for us. Namo Rudrebhyo ye prithivyam esham annam ishavaha. Prostrations to Rudras who exist on earth, for whom food is their weapon. How can food be a weapon? As already mentioned, before eating the wrong type of food, overeating, eating food brought with black money or stolen wealth, eating stolen food or lack of food, or always that food can harm or destroy us. Food-borne illnesses like food poisoning and due to chemicals used in growing and preserving food, and diseases like cholera and typhoid adversely affect many. As already mentioned, those who eat food without sharing, aghayu indriya ramaha mogham partha sajivati bunjate te tvagam papaha ye pachantyatma karanat. If I don't share food with others, that food becomes my sin. Are selfish or who do not give credit to others in what they get, they eat sin. Namo Rudrebhyo ye antarikshe yesham annam vata ishavaha. Prostrations to Rudra who exists in the interspace, for whom air is their weapon. So aggravation of vata, gas in the body, produces joint pains, brittle bones, and constipation. Blockage of vata can even cause strokes. The pranamaya kosha, vital air sheath, is linked to the antariksha. And doing pranayama helps to keep the vata in balance. There is also the killer typhoons and windstorms which lead devastation on their path. Airborne diseases like chickenpox and influenza have infected many of us. So, Namo Rudrebhyo ye divi esham varsham ishavaha. For two salutations to that Rudra for whom rain becomes the arrows. The famines caused by droughts and excessive rains and floods are both destructive. We know 70% of our body is made up of water. 70% of this world is made up of water. The imbalance of water in the body can cause many problems and waterborne diseases. And pain is arrows piercing us. The experience of pain is like arrows. So that is why they say issue means like arrows. We experience pain through these elements. The mantra is a prayer for ecological balance and a plea for people to have the sense not to disturb the fine balance in nature. We will be happy only when the frequency of our nature is going on a smooth plane. If it is going to be jagged and rugged, the frequency becomes jagged and rugged because of our ignorance, then we are only going to face the trouble. The results of wrong thinking and wrong living by humans, like global warming, are already being experienced. Dasha prachir dasha dakshina dasha. We prostrate with folded hands with our 10 fingers. Dasha, this symbolizes surrender to the oneness of thought, word, and deed. It shows that we recognize God's graciousness in the presence everywhere, east, west, north, south, upward, and praise and worship Him with prostrations. Prayer. At the end of the day, we want to be happy in life. So the final prayer of this Anuvaka and of the Namakam is to make us happy. What do I want? I don't want sorrow. If I don't have sorrow, how am I? I am happy. So that is what is the prayer. Oh God, may they be destroyed, eaten by you. All people and things we dislike and who dislike us cause sorrow, may they be destroyed by you. People committing crimes and sins have scant regard for righteous people or righteous ways, dharma. The noble ones do not themselves punish the wicked or hate them. They leave them in the care of God to vanquish them. Vibhishana advised Ravana to return back Sita ji from whom he had kidnapped. Ravana not only disregarded his advice but kicked him out of the court and exiled him. Vibhishana took refuge in Sri Rama, who, after killing Ravana, coronated Vibhishana as the king of Lanka, thereby restoring peace and harmony. The Namakam has 11 Anuvakas, but the following mantras are usually chanted along with the Namakam. The next is the very famous Mrityunjaya mantra. Tryambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityormukshi yamamritaat. Tryambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityormukshi yamamritaat. So Tryambakam, three-eyed Ishvara, yajamahe, three-eyed means a functional physical two eyes, and the third eye of intuition which is open. Yajamahe, we worship you. Sugandhim, you are so fragrant. Pushtivardhanam, you nourish and nurture us. Urvarukamiva bandhanana, please may I attach to this tree, this plant of samsara, like that ripe cucumber. When the cucumber becomes ripe, without any pain, it just snaps away from that creeper. Bandhanana. In the same way, mrityor mukshiya ma amritat. Mrityor mukshiya, you please free me from mortality. You don't free me from immortality. I want to be immortal. You only give me freedom from mortality. We worship the three-eyed Lord who is fragrant and who nourishes all. Just like a ripe cucumber which gets released with the creeper. Release me from death, but not from immortality. So we know the story of the Mrityunjaya is found in all the four Vedas. It is chanted by millions over the centuries and continues to be one of the most famous and chanted mantras. Any birthday that you have, you want to celebrate your friend's birthday, your family member's birthday. The best thing is to ideally chant 108 times Mrityunjaya mantra for the birthday person, or at least 3 times, and or at least collectively 3 times, which becomes 108 sometimes if the number is bigger. So that is a powerful way of celebrating birthdays. Tryambakam, we have seen all that. Mrityunjaya mantra is found in all the four Vedas. It is chanted by millions around the world. This mantra was revealed to sage Mrikandu, who initiated his son Markandeya to it. And as the story goes, Yamaraja, the Lord of Death, could not snatch him as he chanted the mantra and clung tightly to the Shivalinga that he worshipped. Another story is that the mantra was revealed to Shukracharya as Sanjeevani Vidya, the knowledge of resurrection. Even when somebody is sick also and you want them to recover, you can chant the Mrityunjaya mantra many times. If somebody is dead also, they chant the Mrityunjaya to pray to Bhagavan Lord Shiva that the person may be guided to the right place after the dropping of the body. So there is this what is the prayer that I need to ask Bhagavan? I want to manifest this, I want to manifest 1 crore rupees, I want to manifest 1 million rupees. All that will come only if the prarabdha for that is there inside us. If I have the situation and circumstance in this life plan that I should get 1 million rupees, only then I will get. Otherwise, because of the manifestation that I did, 1 million rupees will come and 1 million rupees will go the next day. And when 1 million rupees comes and then it goes, the sadness is even more deeper. So we don't need to go chasing those millions. But what we need to do is, there is a very beautiful prayer. Anayasena maranam. This is a prayer that we need to pray to Bhagavan every day. Because any day, at any point of time, 1 day of the week only, 1 hour, 1 minute or 1 second only, the life is going to depart from the body. And so we do not know when, whatever the age may be, we do not know when. But this prayer we can start making, so that when it just the film actor and the person, the film fan is thinking about the film actor. The moment they meet the film actor, they are very happy. They are able to experience that the glory and the greatness and the presence of that actor more, because they have paid attention to it all the time. So we pay attention to this prayer and we ask Bhagavan, what is the prayer? Anayasena maranam vinadainyena jivanam dehante tava sannidhyam dehi me parameshwaram. Anayasena maranam. May my death happen very, very, very easily in a most relaxed manner. Like I inhale and I exhale with a smile. And death is nothing but after the exhalation, the next inhalation does not happen. It's as simple as that. If we cut out all the drama in our life, in all situations and circumstances, we will not have drama at the time of death also. Swami Shivananda ji says, death is not actually so cruel, death is not so painful. But when the living human beings see all the processes in the body that are happening, and the pain, the movement of the body, they think that it is very painful. So, inhaling deeply and exhaling, after which the next inhalation does not go in. That is only death. It is just that one movement of force that takes in the breath. So what is life? Life is that force, that rajas is life. When that force stops operating, the force, how do you see the force stopping to operate? You switch off the fan. Actually now, we are all dead people only walking. The force stops operating at the time of birth itself. At the time of birth itself, our death point is fixed. And what is actually happening now is, after you switch off the fan, the power is still there and the fan keeps spinning. And that is the power that we call living in this life. So actually the power is only the sattva guna, that is life force. And the movement of that life force is only rajas. And when that movement stops, it is called death or tamas. Death is only inertia. Death is nothing else. We don't need to worry about it. And we will not need to worry at all if we chant this prayer. Jivanam dehante tava sannidhyam dehi me parameshwaram. May my marana or death happen anayasa, very, very relaxedly, just as if I'm inhaling and exhaling with a smile. May death happen like that. Vina dainyena jivanam. So am I focusing only on death? No. While living in life, may I live a life where there is no deenata, where I am not living like a beggar. Oh, I don't have this money, I don't have food. I have the strength, I have the courage. Like yesterday was a very beautiful statement by K. Annamalai, the upcoming politician in Tamil Nadu, who we the leaders head. And so he is planning to come for the 2031 elections and participate in the election as a political party. And the India Today conclave interview, they're asking, what will you do for money for your elections? He says, money will come because we have 2 legs, 2 hands and a heart. I love that statement so much. We have 2 legs, we have 2 hands and we have a heart. So money will come. It is not going to be a problem. So this is Vina Dainyena Jivanam means, may I have the necessary wealth, may I have the necessary abundance where I can do this divine work without thinking of how am I going to get the next meal for the day? How am I going to survive? Will I be able to pay my rent? Will I be able to get a shelter for myself? Will I be able to get proper clothing for myself? Will I be able to get a decent education for myself or for the family and members of the family? Even though we work hard, so people say, what do you mean that God is blessing? God is blessing. I worked, I got the salary, and I'm getting paid. So we understand you worked and you got the salary, but everything is not coming because of your work. The if the boss decides that they don't need to keep you in the work, they can send you. They don't need a reason to send you away, and no fighting in any trade union gang or a court taking it to any tribunal is going to restore that position. So it is not in many things are not in our hands in the world. So acknowledging that only we say that whatever I do is minimal and whatever is being given is given by Bhagavan. When we start acknowledging that in our life, whatever we acknowledge, we pay attention to, and whatever we pay attention to becomes our reality. So the Shastras point us many, many nuances about how to live a healthy life. Vina daimyena jivanam. It is possible. We don't need to go for these so many of these courses paying lakhs of rupees teaching us how to accumulate money. The way by which we accumulate wealth in our life is to pray to Bhagavan, to sincerely pray to Bhagavan, to chant his praises, and everything else happens. Bhagavan says in chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Ananyaha chintayantaha mam. Ananyaha means without any break. When person is thinking about me, ye janaha pari upasate, they are serving me by paying attention to me. Tesham nitya abhiyuktanam, to those people who are eternally integrated in their mind. Yogakshemam vahami aham, I provide their yoga. Yoga means whatever I don't have, I get it for them. Bhagavan gets it for us, which is very good for us and which is needed for us. We don't have it, we want it, Bhagavan gets it. Kshemam is whatever I have got, I want to preserve it. So yoga kshemam vahamyaham. The next mantra, yo rudro agnau yo apsuya oshadhishu yo rudro vishwa bhuvana vivesha tasmai rudraya namo astu. Salutations to that Rudra who is in the fire, in waters, in herbs, and who has pervaded the whole world. Tamushtu hi yasvishu sudhanvayo vishvasya kshayati bheshajasya yakshva mahesau manasaya rudram namo bhirdevam duvasya. Tamushtu hi yasvishu sudhanvayo vishvasya kshayati bheshajasya yakshva mahesau manasaya rudram namo bhirdevam duvasya. O mind, do praise him who has beautiful arrows and heavenly bow and who is the abode of all medicines. We worship with salutations that Rudra, who is the divine, the life, the breath, and who is adorable for a pure mind. We are asking Rudra to give us a pure mind. Even if we do all the sadhanas and practices to quieten the mind, to purify the mind, it is not we who are the vibrations that we create, we quieten it. But ultimately, for all the universal vibrations to be quiet and for us to have that experience, it is only because of the grace of Bhagavan that it can happen. So work, sadhana, and all efforts are only up to a point. Up to a point, it can take us. From that point onwards, it is only sheer devotion and sheer love and sheer being that will take us to the final destination. Ayam me hasto Bhagavan, ayam me Bhagavattarah, ayam me Vishvabheshajo yagam Shivabhimarshanah, ayam me hasto Bhagavan, ayam me Bhagavattarah, ayam me Vishvabheshajo yagam Shivabhimarshanah. This hand of mine is fortunate, and the other hand is even more fortunate. Ayam me hasto Bhagavan, ayam me Bhagavattarah. By the divine contact of God through worship, this hand of mine can cure all ills. This is a very good mantra for all doctors. Ayam me hasto bhagavan, ayam me bhagavattarah. This hand is fortunate, this hand is fortunate. Why? Because it has been blessed by the puja that I have done for Bhagavan, offering flowers. Om Sumukhaya Namaha, Om Ekadantaya Namaha, Om Kapilaya Namaha, Om Gajakarnakaya Namaha, Om Lambodharaya Namaha, Om Vikataya Namaha, Om Vighnarajaya Namaha, Om Vinayakaya Namaha, Om Dhoomaketave Namaha, Om Ganadhyakshaya Namaha, Om Palachandraya Namaha, Om Gajananaya Namaha, Om Vakratundaya Namaha, Om Shurpakarnaya Namaha, Om Herambhaya Namaha, Om Skandhapurvajaya Namaha, Om Shri Siddhivinayaka Swamine Namaha. How do we offer? With our hands. The hands are contacting with the object from outside. We take it in, we take it to our heart, and then we offer. So the heart, the contact with our hands and the offering is there. And because of that, what happens? This hand is very fortunate. It is very blessed. Because the hand is the extension of the heart. And especially if you really want to know what a person is thinking and where one person's attention truly is, we have to watch their hands. We have to watch what are they, how are they using their hands. This is a technique of body language study. So Rudra appears more the mighty deities, the Devam, the demons, Asuram, and the divine Devam, and the ungodly Asura. Happy mind is peaceful, a peaceful mind is happy, and a pure mind is both peaceful and happy. So we pray to Rudra and worship him with prostrations, Namo Bhihi, for a pure, happy, and peaceful mind. Also, one who revels in the form of our prana, like breath, is called Asura. Asusu Ramate, only in the prana. The one who revels in the form of our prana is called Asusu Ramate iti Asura. That is why whenever we talk about yoga, the great masters of Vedanta, they will always push us towards transcending yoga, transcending asana, transcending pranayama, transcending bhakti also. It may be very hard for us to hear it. It may be very difficult for us to digest that fact. But a true guru will keep pushing you further, because anywhere you stop, you will not reach the ultimate. It is like I want to go to Delhi, but I get off at the Fatehpur Sikri destination and I go somewhere else. I don't reach Delhi station. So it is like that. So that is the reason why they will keep advising their disciples, don't get excited by this. Don't get excited by the asanas. Don't get excited by the pranayama. Don't get excited by how good you are feeling right now. Don't get excited that you have solved all your problems. Don't get excited by all the vibhutis that you are getting, all the manifestations of power. Like I can walk on water, I can just create fire. With like Tansen, the musician, he played music and then fire was created. Ragdeep, he invented that rag. So all these are all vibhutis, the glories of Bhagavan, which is manifested in the world. Not stop there, but move inward. Asusu Ramate iti Asura. So Rudra is the life and Devam Asura and the divine consciousness in us also. This is a very beautiful mantra. It portrays the glory of God that divinizes and blesses everything that comes in contact with him. Also that we saw, Ayam me hasto Bhagavan. Yete sahasramayutam pasha mrityo matyaya hantave. Yete sahasramayutam pasha mrityo matyaya hantave. Tan yajnasya mayaya sarvan navayajamahe. Tan yajnasya mayaya sarvan navayajamahe. Mrityave swaha, mrityave swaha, mrityave swaha, mrityave swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Vishnave Mrityurme Pahi. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Vishnave Mrityurme Pahi. Prananam Grantha ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्येनाप्यायस्व सदा शिवोम् एते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा एते O death, may all those thousands and 10,000s of nooses by which a mortal can die be removed by the strength of our good deeds. May our punya karma remove all the disturbances that can come, all the means by which we will die. Means not that we will not die, we will die in the way that we saw earlier. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, smile, and there is no feel. Like when you go to sleep, you don't feel sad or sorry that you have gone to sleep. You're only enjoying the sleep, and you're waking up fresh the next day. Death is also similar only. Sleep is a smaller form of death. Death is a longer form of sleep, a complete form of sleep. In sleep, you wake up with this body, and you wake up in the same place you went to sleep. In death, you wake up in another body and in a completely different atmosphere and circumstance from which you went to sleep. That is the only difference in death. Otherwise, the experience and the feeling, there is no drama to it. There is no drama about it. So, unto death, this oblation. Unto death, this oblation. Mrityave swaha, mrityave swaha. Death means the prana does not move. The power, the pulling power, like I said, inhale and exhale. The exhalation happens easily, but inhalation requires power. Inhale, and the power is pulled in, no power is let out after that. That is only death. And the death is actually a withdrawal. You pull something inside and it just gets absorbed within, it doesn't come out. Mrityave swaha, mrityave swaha. Om namo bhagavate rudraya vishnave mrityur me pahi. O Lord Bhagavan Rudra, who is present everywhere, Vishnave, please protect me from death. Like Wi-Fi connection is present everywhere, death is also present everywhere. In any moment, any part of the world, that can happen. As we are talking, even as I say the word death, so many thousands of people around the world have left their last breath. So there is no drama around death. It is a very simple matter, like how we breathe in and breathe out. So inhalation is life, exhalation is death. Full stop. Prananam granthirasi rudro mavishantakaha. Tena, you Rudra are the knot that ties the vital forces to the body, senses and mind. You who can put an end to my sorrows and life, do enter in me. Do nourish and protect me with the food that I have eaten. May auspiciousness always prevail. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti 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 means, why do we do it? Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adi Adhyatma. There are three types of disturbances we face in life. Adi Bhautika is from the physical elements around us and the beings around us. Adi Daivika is unknown forces, like the forces of nature, which can cause disturbances. Tapa. Tapa means the balance of harmony of the universe is destroyed. The vibrations and the frequencies are all mismatching. And like a day before yesterday, or I think on Independence Day, there was loud music around the house and so many things happened. I wanted to participate in the Independence Day programs, but I was held with something else at home. And all that created a lot of tapa, that the head started hurting like anything. Why it happens is, through all the sense organs, through the ears, through the eyes, through the nose, through the tongue, and through the skin, the information that is coming to us is very, very disturbed. And when the disturbed information comes in us, it manifests immediately it manifests as headache. We are not able to bear that disturbance. We are experiencing the disturbance, but we are not able to bear it. And so it comes out as pain, as distress. And so Om Shanti 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 is, may it become quiet. May it become quiet. May it become quiet. Because what is liberation finally is that the quietude of mind, the mind dissolves into that supreme truth, that Brahman. And after that, the person is there, Brahman only is there. There is no specific individual mind in that place. So that is why we chant Shanti 3 times. Because while talking, while listening, while chanting, while emoting, while trying to understand, the pranas are moving up and down. And we chant Shanti, Shanti, Shanti and ground and stabilize that energy as we finish this part of the Rudram. And the next video will be only on September 6th, mostly. As I told you, I'm going for that, the camp, Vedanta Upanishad Saram camp of Puja Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji in Coimbatore, Chinmaya Gardens. So we will meet again. Who knows, by Bhagwan's grace, if something happens in between also, it can happen, but it is not in my hands. Om Sarvesham Swasthir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadhaya, Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Bole Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Har Namah Parvati Pataye. Har Har Mahadeva. Hari Om.